This is Due by Friday, a weekly challenge podcast with Merlin Mann, Alex Cox, and Max Temkin. This week's challenge, use Instagram.
Hello?
I'm waiting for call recorder. Hey everybody, how's it going? Woo! Gotta wait several seconds for you talk.
Wait, really?
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about Skype on a podcast. That's always fun.
Well, you asked. Is a thing you did. Is everybody cranky today? What's wrong with you guys? You guys seem cranky. What's going on?
I'm not cranky.
No. That's your secret. You're always cranky.
Did you guys read that Anna Delvey story that I sent yesterday?
No, I started and then it made me sad, and I figured you would summarize it for us.
It's a 33-minute read. I read 34-minute read. I read it very quickly, but that's a hell of a story.
So
it makes me very sad.
Let me just to summarize. So I sent you guys the story, and then Alex, it was too sad for you to read, and Merlin, it was too long for you to read.
That's correct.
Okay. I don't know. No, I just liked it. I thought that story was like, I don't know. You
made me use Instagram, and then you sent me something that took 34 minutes to read, and I'm the bad guy. I'm the bad guy. I was on time. I was on time. If you guys are gonna be cranky, I'm gonna be silly. So I have to warn you.
I'm not.
No,
cranky.
I'm gonna break up your cranky with silly, and it's gonna make you even madder.
I just ended up texting from a restroom, and that's no one's fault but my own. And now I just want to call Dr. Don and be like, what do I need to do to make myself feel clean? Wash
and then sanitize.
Exactly. It's not the same thing.
Oh, I want to talk about the Anna Delvey story.
Yeah, this is a very interesting story of a woman who got caught acting rich.
It's in one of those publications that I feel like 2 years ago it would have been on Medium, but now I think they have their own website, and what's it called? It's called like the slip or the papers or something. The cut.
You're good at naming things. The Cut frequently has very, very good stuff right alongside here's a nice pair of shoes articles. It's really interesting. It's an interesting site.
So, yeah, basically, it's just a story. I almost don't want to spoil it because I want all of our readers, our listeners to get to go read it for themselves and get all the surprises. But it's
we can talk about it in the after show.
That's all right. Well, I think we can talk about it without spoiling too much. But it's a story of this young woman who shows up in New York and I guess leads people to believe that she's like a wealthy heiress, and she runs up huge bills at hotels.
She's at a very fancy hotel, $30,000 a month. Every single person she encounters, she gives a $100 tip. She's buying tons of fancy stuff. She's sidled up with the concierge, and she's just spending money like a doorknob in a wet sweater.
And all in cash, right?
Yeah, well, no, she has credit card scams and stuff going too. But also, she's like rubbing elbows with all these like celebrities and sort of, New York elite. And wasn't she hanging out with Martin Shkreli, the pharma bro, and all just all
it
this
was a Shkreli, but I don't think it was Martin, but it was a Shkreli. Wait, no, you're right. Wait. Recognize the face introduced. Yeah, you're right. It was the Shkreli. I thought he looked different in that picture.
Less Weasley.
Is that him?
Less oily and Weasley. He's kind of an oily guy.
And she put all this.
But
on
anyway,
Instagram,
it just.
FYI.
Anyway, I think it's safe to say, I think it tells you in the first paragraph, so this isn't a huge spoiler, but all is not as it seems. And I don't know, I just thought it was an article that was I thought it said a lot about success and America right now, and just everyone's ideas about fairness. I don't know. I feel like everyone's running some sort of scam. Everyone's got some sort of scheme.
I'd like to hear more about what you particularly found interesting, but it's true. And the thing that really stuck out to me, I think, by design, by the writer, was that she wasn't very nice. I think one of the phrases they said, please and thank you, were not in her vocabulary. She kind of liked being seen, spending money, and being a big shot. And she liked the fact that everybody was she's 27 years old, of course. And she likes the fact that everyone is very deferential to her. And she's not a very nice person. She wants to do a startup. She's very ambitious.
Oh my God, her startup idea! It sounded honestly, it sounded like the worst place in the world. It was a 6-story art gallery where you would have to pay for a membership, and then there would be restaurants and tea bars and stuff inside. It sounded like a horrible place.
Yeah, it was it's sort of like if Gwyneth Paltrow had made Saw. Walk over to the goop wall and take down the astringent product that you think will most effectively get your butt meat into the portcullis. You need to do a purge.
But can you fit this jade egg inside your vagina?
If you want to accommodate the lingam in your yoni, you're going to require a full purge.
That's sounding a little appealing now.
Let me ask you guys this: Do you feel like we're missing out? That you look at the news and everyone's on some sort of scam or scheme or bullshit, right? Everyone's got some sort of angle that they're working. Michael Cohen, he's got his consulting company.
Right. Oh, you feel like you might be missing out that you don't have enough side hustle. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, it's like, should we be into something? I mean, I don't know. I feel like we're, I don't want to be a sucker.
So, like, recording a podcast that generally is free, but then charging people $5 a month to listen to it? Something like that?
I mean, the thing is, okay, here's
It would never work.
It would never work. It would never work. Nobody would pay for that. But I mean, Jose Canseco has had an ICO. There's a lot of things that are going. Even the people who make podcasts don't make podcasts anymore. Like Roman Mars, he's always got somebody else doing his podcast now. Like, what are we doing? We're suckers. We show up here every goddamn Wednesday and we record this program. And where's our parade? We should be seeing a 10x return on what we're doing for sure.
I think it could be pretty funny if we have, how occasionally we have guests on Do By Friday, and sometimes we'll reach out to someone and be like, Mike Hurley, Dr. Don, come on Do By Friday and teach us about germs or pens or whatever bullshit that you're into. And what if we do that, but we don't show up? And then it's sort of like well, how about this? So they get on the theme, they get on the Skype, and we have producer Chris rolls the theme music, and then it's just silence. And
it's just awkward silence.
They would do an episode of Do By Friday.
Can you imagine how terrible the after show would be? They've been sitting there for like an hour and a half, and then they have to do another 40 minutes. It's so confusing. You just hear producer Chris would just go, after show.
Hello? Do you see what I'm saying?
Hello?
No.
God, is you guys?
They'd probably do a whole episode of Do By Friday for us, and we don't even have to show up, right? We sleep in.
Well, and we call it a special episode, and we charge everybody twice.
Oh, it's sad because it would work.
It would work. It would work. I'm Roman Mars. Here's another show from Radiotopia. I'm Roman Mars. Here's someone else. Okay. Really? Fucking really?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you need that lovely, like, Roman ASMR at the beginning,
And then you just play a different podcast. We're really excited about this new show that's coming to the network. Here's 6 episodes. Really? Really on the media? On the media, you're going to put a fucking podcast about a TV show in the feed? The whole series?
Right? Oh, that was very strange.
Who does that? You have to stop. You must stop. If you don't like doing podcasts, you should stop doing them. Get some side hustle. You get a credit card. You create an immersive experience. Well, first of all, step 0, you guys. It seems to me that like Anna Delvey, we need to get a PR firm. We need a PR firm that can do things like make a birthday party.
Well, let me ask you this, Merlin.
Yes.
Let me ask you this. I recognize that there's a little bit of a chicken and an egg situation here. But
100%.
Can you do the PR firm before the life coach? Or really, I mean, what's the point of having the PR firm if you're not fired, if you don't have your full energy working for you?
Right. It's a really good point. Like, you may not have the wherewithal to hire someone to hire a PR firm for you if you're not on your physical and mental and coaching game. You need that to get started. But then how even are you going to throw a party for your coach if you don't have a PR firm?
Am I my best self?
Am I my best self? Am I living my best life? Yas, Queen. I'm here for this.
I watched the Bachelorette last night.
No.
Oh yes, and the new. It's not good. It's great.
Nope.
It's not great. It's great. The new.
Say mouth words. What'd you watch?
I watched The Bachelorette, the new season.
The
It just
Bachelorette,
started,
okay.
and they introduced all the dinglings. One guy showed up in a chicken suit,
Nice.
and the new Bachelorette, she called someone's car a whip, and then she saged the house with other bachelorettes. And I was like, this is a lot. But the culture's changing very quickly, and I'm feeling like an old man. I don't know how I feel about them.
The house.
I don't know how I feel about them calling cars whips and saging the house. Like, a lot's going on.
Yeah.
You know what? This is the first time in 10 years that I've felt peer pressure to enjoy a thing, because all of our writers watch this show. Max watches the show. Everyone wants to talk about Bachelor Nation, and every time I watch it, I feel like I need to take a shower afterwards.
I'm so
I
confused,
feel like
Alex. I thought you liked this show. You don't like this show?
I did
We had
until
to do that. We had to do that episode with that lady about the show. I thought you liked the show. I'm confused.
I did until you know what? It was like the Wizard of Oz. I was suddenly like,
Was
oh,
it
this is the
did
man
Ari
behind-
break your heart, Alex? Was it Ari?
He
Ari.
didn't break my heart. He's terrible, like the majority of men. And I'm like, why are people
she's
surprised
awful.
by
I don't
this?
like Ari either. She was really bad.
He.
Right, exactly. That's what I meant when I
The
said
breakout trans character, The Bachelor. No, he was awful. Merlin, if you are going to watch anything from The Bachelor, or rather, if you want to convince,
which I definitely will.
I know you obviously want to watch this, but if there's any argument for the Bachelor franchise is truly the worst, it's watching a man try to like get the attention of a woman who has locked herself in a bathroom and just keeps coming back like, hey buddy, you okay? You okay?
Sounds almost like it's not a very good show.
Almost.
You're right, Max. It's ridiculous what we go through. I mean, and this lady, I mean, she kept it up for a pretty good while, right? Was it kind of compressed or how? So
What you mean the time?
2018.
I mean, I think it was probably about a year, and she was doing bank fraud and credit card fraud and all kinds
That's
of
the part I
different
missed.
frauds.
Where was she actually? Was it a stolen credit card?
Well,
How was
so
she
what
doing it?
what she did
So
was she was
sad.
applying for I don't know enough about finance to explain this honestly, so I'm probably going to get this slightly wrong. But there's like special kind. There's like more powerful kinds of loans. Okay, you know in Doctor Strange where he when he starts at the wizard school with the bald lady, he can just make the sparks fly out of his hands. But then when he becomes a powerful wizard, he can like turn back time.
Yes.
When you become really rich, when you become a little bit rich, you can make sparks, right? You get like loans, you get like a boat loan or something like that, right? But when you get really rich, when you like really level up at the magic school, you can get like rich people loans for like more money with like no deposit or no
Because you're
like
part of the
interest
tribe,
and stuff like that,
right?
I don't know because
You're
you
not some
have
snork out
collateral.
there trying to make sparks. Or driving
Because
an
you
Uber.
can yeah, you're like a lower risk. I don't really know how it works, but she basically what she did was she got like I think she accrued like she got some small amount of money from credit card debt, and then somehow had like a banker. She like seduced a banker into her web of lies to like write a letter on her behalf saying that she was like a wealthy heiress, and then some other bank like wound up actually either almost giving her a loan for like millions and millions of dollars.
Jeez.
So the article, whatever. I don't care. The article ends and she's in Rikers Island now. So she got
Says
caught.
it's not that bad. It's not that bad.
So
She got caught and went to jail. Immediately, I just pictured the writers' room of Orange is the New Black just scrambling like an alarm goes off, and they're like, all hands on deck. Everybody get into the writers' room. We have to write an analog of this character into the new season of Orange is the New Black.
They're like 5
Don't
years
you feel
behind
like-
on their criminals. Yeah, well, they had that character that was like Martha Stewart, and I'm like, what's going on?
Oh, they have so many
behind
like
the curve.
celebrity, like they have so many like ripped from the headlines, like sort of tragic backstory, petty criminals who are in like a low security women's prison. Like she is just begging. This woman is just begging to become part of Orange is the New Black. And I bet she'd get a whole flashback sequence, and it would show her crime, and it would be sort of comical, but then in the end, it would be really poignant and sad.
Captain Janeway's on there.
Yeah, she's great.
She's real good. She's real
She's
good.
very good.
I'll say like there's not a lot of women in Hollywood who she's had what's her name
Kate Capshaw. No. Kate Capshaw?
Kate
No.
Capshaw.
Kate Capshaw? Is it
Yeah.
Capshaw? Kate
No.
Milligan. Kate Milligan? Who am I thinking of?
Kate Mulgrew. Kate Mulgrew.
There
That's
we
it.
go. Yeah,
There's not many women in
Is
Hollywood who
there
have
a
had-
Kate Capshaw? That is a person, right?
That's a person. Yeah,
Okay.
I think she played.
She was in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
She played.
Oh.
Catwoman.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No, she played Batgirl in the one with George Clooney.
Is that no? I think you're thinking of Alicia
No.
Silverstone. She's the one in that Aerosmith video.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the one where he has the rubber nipples, right?
Yeah.
It's a
I
very
liked it.
homoerotic, and then Arnold Schwarzenegger goes, "Do you know what killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age."
I like that character. That's good.
There's not a lot of women in Hollywood who have had she's had Kate Mulgrew's had 3 acts in her life, right? Like she was
Well,
I
there's
think
that-
she
we
was
keep
like a
seeing
hot.
that ad. We keep seeing that ad for the show with Ellen Barkin that I didn't know about until we started watching the basketball, and now they're advertising this. It's like you can be in your early 60s and be on TV. You just have to be a criminal mastermind with really bad makeup to make you look really craggy.
Yeah.
She was like a soap opera star when she was young, and then when she was
I
sort
love
of
her voice.
and then when she was sort of older, she had a great run as Captain Janeway. And there's a lot of you know how sometimes someone in like pop culture will make some sort of joke or observation, and then it just becomes the one thing that everyone has on their note card that they love to repeat back to you like they know something. The thing that people say about Catherine Janeway is that that she was written poorly, and that Kate Mulgrew played her like she had bipolar disorder, so she would be really erratic. And that's not, it's a rumor, it's not true. Janeway is a great character, and she's very consistent and very principled. I think she's one of the best Star Trek captains and one of the most interesting Star Trek captains in all of the series. But and Kate Mulgrew I thought did a nice job with her, and I maybe got bored towards the end, like every
TV's hard.
every actor.
TV's
Yeah,
hard.
well, you do it for whatever 8 years, and of course you're gonna get bored. But
She's a
man,
handsome
now
woman.
she's and then she plays Red, and that's also an amazing iconic character.
Is she Russian?
No, well, Red is, yeah, but not Kate Mulgrew.
And that's different from Kate Mulligan. Was that her name? Who's the one from Hawkeye? That's Kate Barton. Clara Barton was the nurse. Is that right? This reminded me of something I read in a short story class. Did you ever read Willa Cather's story, Paul's Case?
Wait a minute. She was the voice of Red Claw in Batman the Animated Series.
Batman the Animated Series. Oh, you can also be
God.
voice talent.
Yeah.
She played Red Claw. Did you guys ever read Paul's Case?
No, what's that?
Oh, it's a story about a little boy who runs away from home and wants to live a fancy life and then gets caught. I always think of that. When things like this come up, I always think of Paul's Case. It's a very sad story.
Yeah, why are you guys just telling me to read sad stories?
I'm not telling you to do anything.
Yeah.
I just want you to be happy. Did you ever get an iPhone case you like?
Oh, no, I really want them to send me. I've never asked
I don't
for
understand
anything
why do you
free.
do things like that? Why do you put up a picture of all your iPhone cases? Why do you do that?
Why? We'll get to the
How's that going
challenge
to end
later.
well? How's that going to end well, Alex?
I don't. What,
What's it in service of?
What is this
It's
in
not-
service of?
I want something.
Let's talk about something
free.
important.
I want something free.
What I want. What I want is a guarantee. Something free. You think too much of me, Michael. I am the hunted one. Show's canceled.
If we were the sons, who's amongst the three of us? Who's Sonny? Who's Michael? And who's Fredo?
Oh, challenge.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm Donald
I think
Jr.
it's. Wait, who's there? Am I Eric? Eric Corleone.
Oh,
My father tries to keep the drugs with the black people. My father loves all hand fruit except for oranges because that's when he dies. My father is a very respected man, but he should have known. To tell you it was a pimp and it was Barzino. Anyways, okay, so challenge. So, brothers.
yes.
I don't know. I think you. Well, I'm not going to say. I'm not going to say.
I feel like Merlin has a very strong opinion about this, but doesn't want to say.
I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to be the one to say. I'm not gonna be the one to say it.
Go speak your truth, Merlin. Speak your
Well,
truth.
I'm struggling with whether Max or I are Michael or Sonny. I'm smart, Mike. Not like people say. Not like everybody says.
Okay, so we
She
want
was
an
banging
iPhone case.
cocktail waitresses 2 at a time. You don't talk to a man like Mo Green like that. I want an iPhone case.
I'm sorry, Max. I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm late.
Man, it's a lot of money in this bag.
I started watching The Sopranos again.
Oh,
Did you guys ever watch The Sopranos?
Yeah, that was a good program.
Did you watch it when it was on?
Yes.
Were you like a Sopranos guy and you like smoked cigars and like said gabagool?
Of course I did. No, I thought
I think my dad was a big Sopranos guy when it was on. Like I think he picked up some of them. He adopted some of the mannerisms of The Sopranos.
How do you even begin to address that show and its influence and how well it did at what it tried to do? Not least, what we remember stuff like, Tony and his breathing and stuff, but like just that cast. My God, that cast was so good, and you really cared about Meadow, and you really cared. Like it just,
it sounds dumb to say, but when I thought I've seen The Sopranos, I did not watch it when it was on. I was too young, but I watched it when I was in college. I got some files fell off the back of a truck, and I watched it, and I liked it. I was really into it. I didn't like it. It didn't stick with me the same way as The Wire did, but I thought it was excellent. And now I'm going back and rewatching it for the first time, and what's amazing is I sort of forgot the whole idea that he was in therapy the whole time. Look, when I remember it, I remember all the plot points.
That was the initial conceit. It came out around the same time as that Robert De Niro movie.
Analyze
and that was the hook. Yeah, that was the hook. It was about mobsters in therapy.
It's watching it again. So watching it the second time, I'm not really in suspense as to what's going to happen, and I don't really care as much about the family drama and all of that because I know how it's going to end. And the therapy is the best part of the show. It's clearly why you care about this character and why everything matters.
He just wants the ducks to come back.
Oh my God. All the scenes with Dr. Melfi are so funny and good and well acted.
And have levels. There's so many, I remember there being like levels.
God, they're so good. And anyway, I started watching that show because people have been talking about it on Twitter and saying like, this show speaks to the current moment. Like all the themes that this show was about in America of like corruption and decay, and that everyone's got some sort of Anna Delvey kind of.
You couldn't do a Scooby-Doo reboot at this point without being about the current climate. It's like.
Well, I think this show.
Rory Raggy.
This show really nailed it.
Max keeps making me want to watch sad things where really I want to go home and just watch Steven Universe. That's
The Sopranos is a comedy unless you're an idiot, in which case it's like a drama.
Yeah, idiot.
Sorry I'm late.
Hey, Max, do you enjoy the fact that our super secret private text channel has become all about Dear Evan Hansen? Are you enjoying that?
Well, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I know, that's why it's fun. That's why it's fun.
I know.
It's about broken arms and trees.
I know. It's
What
like when
the fuck are you
you guys
talking
go
about?
off on a political
All they
tangent.
see is sky.
I love it.
All they see is sky for forever.
Is this the movie
forever.
Is this the movie where the people dance?
Yes. We're not gonna pay rent. We're not gonna pay rent. We owe some rent. We're not gonna pay it. Dancing on the tables.
Rent. I love it. It's so. Have you ever seen the feature film Mamma Mia?
Mamma Mia.
Here we
I
go
haven't seen
again.
the feature film Mamma Mia. No.
My. How could I
I
forget
should.
you?
I enjoyed the music of ABBA, and that's got the Meryl Streep in it, right?
Yes, it does. And it is not popular to like this movie, but I really enjoy it. And there's a sequel.
Yeah, I know. We saw the trailer. It looked really good.
I'm so excited for it.
Did they call it Grandma Mia?
You're so good at that. Dun, dun, dun.
Man,
What is it called? Is it Mamma Mia Gone
Mamma
Hawaiian?
Mia More?
Mamma Mia More! That's a good one.
That's a spicy meatball. Mas Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia Tokyo Drift?
More Mama. More Mia. Two Mama, two Mia.
More Mia.
Tu Mama, Tu Mia.
Two Mama Mia tambien. That's stupid. That's stupid. Cut
That's
that
a
out.
bad movie. I did not
Alex,
enjoy it.
it's so difficult, and our process is so difficult because as I tried to explain poorly, we are listening to we're doing the Hamilton approach. So we're listening a lot to the first few songs and moving out in concentric circles. I'm making her stay in Act 1, and I'm only reading enough of the plot because it's not clear what's happening.
What are you actually talking about? What are you actually talking about?
It's a
It's a play
musical.
called It's a musical called Dear Evan Hansen about a kid with extreme social anxiety and the effects of social media.
And is it new? Is it out? What is it? It's new?
Last year.
Came out last year. Okay.
It
Or
won
so.
all of the Tonys for when Kevin Spacey hosted, and they wanted to distract from Kevin Spacey, and they're like, look at the young kids winning these awards.
Yay. Anyway, it's probably not in your wheelhouse, but it breaks my heart you can't just go see a play in your house. They should let you watch plays in your house. Who says you have to go to a theater for theater? It's sickening.
I know. God forbid you have a one-time unique experience with a crowd of people.
From your mouth to God's ear. Connor.
Do you ever see musicals? Like
No.
But why? You're in San
Because I
Francisco.
have things I have to do.
I understand, but it seems like a thing that your entire family would enjoy.
I should take you to that. Yeah.
I don't. No, not to Hamilton.
What about 13 Reasons Why? Is that in theaters now?
Oh God. Oh, I've never been like, don't watch something, please. Like I've never.
I'm glad you gave me the heads up.
I don't know if you're serious or not, but I was like, I can see a kid watching this and just going.
I allow a lot of problematic things. If they're interesting and well done, and it's mainly about curses, I usually allow it mostly.
It's not. Max, have you watched the program 13 Reasons Why? Do you know what we're talking about?
Netflix
No, I'm
series?
not. I'm reading the Wikipedia entry for Kate Mulgrew.
Oh,
Did you get that photo I sent?
Good. Oh yes, that is an attractive lady. I really like.
I wouldn't throw her out of bed for beaming me down. I always feel like I'm really at the top of my game when I search for the name of an actress and the word "young" after it.
Oh,
Kate
yeah.
Mulgrew Young.
I feel like we do that at least once a month.
What a
feel
creep.
good about myself afterwards.
Feet. Kate Mulgrew feet.
Google young Stalin.
Oh, that is a handsome man.
Let's see. Young Stalin. That's a good name for a band. Oh, holy
I swear
shit!
We had this exact same
Oh my goodness!
right?
Look at that. He looks like he works at a butcher shop in Portland.
Yeah, he looks like he works at a Starbucks Reserve store, and he's wearing like a trilby.
I've made a hammer and sickle in your latte. Please do not tip me. It makes everything worse.
Young Stalin can get it.
Yas Queen. I'm here for Stalin. These photographs of young Stalin are everything right now. You sure that's him? Did they do a Melania on him? He looks different. He looks different.
I don't know. You just have to imagine him with a big mustache, and then he looks very
But
similar.
his eyes got more narrow. He's so full of hope here. He could be in a Dear Evan Hansen.
Oh, there's a Tumblr called "Fuck Yeah, Young Stalin." Cool.
Oh, nice.
How normal. This is not normal.
You will be found.
Oh.
Digga. Follow up. CNN Politics. The Republican nominee for a U.S. House seat in Illinois has said that the September 11th terrorist attacks were an inside job and that singer Beyonce Knowles has ties to the Illuminati. Bill Falwell is running against incumbent Democratic Representative Sherry Bustos in Illinois' 17th District, where she won by 20 points in 2016. Even though the district also voted narrowly for Donald Trump, Falwell won his uncontested primary in March. Let's see if I have the CNN article. He had some further funny details in his book. In a February 2013 post on the blog of a political action committee he established in 2012 called Elect a New Congress, Falwell said that Beyonce's husband, rapper Jay-Z, quote, has a long history of serving up the godless Illuminati, and shared a YouTube video that speculated that Beyonce's upcoming halftime performance at the Super Bowl would have Illuminati symbolism.
I missed that part.
That's super interesting. I heard in actuality he caused his mother a lot of pain. The conspiracy people, man. It's I think I get conspiracies that explain away finance. I don't agree with them, but all like Rothschild stuff, like that taps into some kind of like, not only do I not like Jewish people, but they're the reason I don't have a coal mining job anymore. Like I understand that. Some of these other things, it really seems like a troubled mind.
I mean, how can you, like, no rational mind would think that? Like, I don't know. I don't understand.
You're saying? I mean, I've considered the possibility that 9/11 was some sort of conspiracy, but it didn't hold up to scrutiny.
And yeah, it's like you looked at facts and figures and we're like, okay, nope.
Well,
nope.
it's also just that. So think about this, like I've been in situations where, you know, I was like, well, how do I put it? I was like, I've been in sensitive, like high level situations where I was like right in the middle of it. And there was like here's a story from the Obama campaign in 2008, because that was a time when I was like, I very much felt like I was like right in the middle of the world and all the information was right there and everyone wanted it. And, you know, I was right there walking to work every day. And there was like some situation where there was like a fundraiser or a party, and I think some interns got busted drinking, and they might have been underage, I can't remember. And the campaign the next day sent an email out, and they said, new policy, no interns are allowed to drink, even if they're over 21, under any circumstances, and even if you're off work, never take a picture of yourself drinking or let it get out. And they also, like, it was like one of the only times on the campaign where they explicitly said, you know, we're really trying to not have people know about this, so please use discretion and don't talk about this outside of the office, and we would just not like it to become a scandal that our interns were having a beer at this event or whatever. And of course, by the end of the day, it was on CNN, Obama interns, you know, busted drinking or whatever. So like, and that's like not even a bit, that's like a completely innocuous lie that like didn't even hurt the campaign. And
it's an April Ludgate level crime.
It's like nothing, right? But it's like we just so desperately wanted that to stay in the building, and it couldn't be done. Someone opened their mouth, or some reporter heard the story or something, and it got out. You're telling me that there's a bunch of people in the military and in the West Wing who coordinated at the highest levels, like a false flag attack, a targeted strike to take down the World Trade, to have like set these patsies up to fly 2 airplanes in the World Trade Center, and a bunch of people know about it, and not a single detail
nobody
of it.
knew about it. Nobody knew.
It's only like YouTube videos about loose change.
Steel beams.
No, there's no fucking way.
Beams.
Well, as I've said probably too many times, I always get the feeling people who are very into conspiracy theories have never had to do any project management. Like, if you have 100% buy-in and a budget and time, you still can't get people to show up on time and do shit.
Yeah.
You still can't get people to look at the Gantt chart.
Yeah.
You still can't get people to like send their fucking thing in for the newsletter that they promised that they would give you. And like, yeah, but you got 2 planes to fly into a building and George Bush orchestrated it. Like,
you know, Merlin, you've got
yeah, secret
conspiracy, cost, and high body count. Pick 2.
Oh, it's pick 2. You know what? Secret conspiracy triangle. A lot of people don't know the triangle actually has 5 sides.
I've always said that the one that people don't pick is usually the one that they know the least about.
The one that they know the least about, you're saying they shorten that one. Mm-hmm. Huh. I heard that if you get an email too many times and you go, ugh, you should create a filter. That's what I heard. Okay, so digga follow-up. I've sent you pictures of young versions of mini dictators and killers and mass murderers. So now we have before us, we have young Stalin, young Lenin, young Putin, young Hitler, and young Pol Pot. Who is the most fuckable?
Oh, it's Stalin for sure.
I don't know. Lenin seems like a gentle lover. Doesn't he seem like he just really get in there?
He is an egghead. He looks like he's like one of these guys who's like balding by the time he's 24.
It looks like somebody, like, I don't know. He's got a kind of Leonardo DiCaprio, but also appreciate that Putin.
I can already hear him explaining the merits of different animes versus each other to me.
Actually, Conolingus is not hygienic.
Now this one isn't as good, but you have to watch it first in order to understand the next one.
To understand this, you must know that the entire first season is shit. It gets real good in the middle of season 2, but you have to get the subs, not the dubs. Look at Putin. Putin's like fucking 12, and he already has a comb.
You know what? Here's the thing. If he is over 18, he's Jack from Titanic. He is the most. He's a gentle lover. He's a kind individual.
Yeah.
He fights against the status quo. Yeah, look at where I'm going. Look at how handsome he is. Look at the part. Oh, whoa. Who's this?
Whoa, who's that?
I think Ho Chi Minh is
that
very
Shanghai
handsome.
Oh, Ho Chi Minh.
I think Ho Chi Minh
was very
handsome.
charismatic. He was very charismatic.
He also is a good part.
He has a perfect porcelain face. He looks like a Westworld host.
Yeah. He must have had some sort of like Facetune app.
Do you know they cast these actors on Westworld? It's like one of the best cast shows. They cast these people that are like too beautiful for TV.
Oh, like that lady with the bug eyes, my Westworld girlfriend, the one robot prostitute lady, the lady in the saloon.
Not much of a rind on you, girl. What's her name?
Yeah.
She gets drilled. They drill her.
But you're right about the casting.
Yeah, it's the same thing they did. It's the same thing they did in my beloved Starship Troopers when they cast like Denise Richards.
Yes.
Like that's one of the best castings in any movie ever because she can like barely act and she's like way too hot. She's like and that other guy who looks like a Hitler Youth. Mm-hmm. Like they were I mean, it's one of those brilliantly cast. Like her flat demeanor and the way she looks and acts in that movie is one of the funniest, most brilliant things in the world. But anyway, that's how Ho Chi Minh looks to me. He looks like a Westworld host.
Okay. Yeah.
That
I can
didn't
totally
make
see
any.
that.
None of that made any sense to anyone. Sorry.
What about when Denise Richards was a nuclear physicist in the James Bond movie?
Oh, I was very into that.
Mm-hmm.
When did this show become just talking about young women who are hot? Especially when they were younger.
I think Ho Chi Minh's a woman.
To it. I'm not,
I think you're misgendering Ho Chi Minh. I think that's
why make some assumptions?
A little bit off brand
you
for
don't
you.
know.
Ho Chi Minh likes to be called they.
Google 1998 Denise Richards.
I know.
We've done this.
Oh, we have? Oh, I got distracted.
Yeah.
No, that's okay. How about young Denise Richards?
Oh, God.
Young
it's so
Denise
gross.
Richards.
It's so gross. There's so many of her in a swimming suit. Oh,
man.
it's so gross. Oh,
She loves to swim, Alex.
She really, really loves to swim. Oh, she really likes bathing suits.
She doesn't have a lot of loose tops.
Oh, yeah. Nope. This is not.
So you didn't really answer my question. So you're saying definitely you would bone down with Stalin.
He looks like a soft stud lesbian. Yeah. Yeah. Right?
You're saying you wouldn't go down the Ho Chi Minh Trail.
No.
That's what he likes to call it. Who am I forgetting? Is there anybody I'm leaving out? Oh, how about let's say maybe young Goebbels.
I have.
Oh boy. Woo. Look at that guy. Look at that guy. Who's the big guy? Himmler? Young Himmler. I love that show. That's a spinoff from Big Bang Theory. Young Himmler.
Something that makes me feel good is that Donald Trump has always looked weird.
Yep.
He's just never looked like
He looks
normal
like
human.
he looks like a Habsburg child. Have you guys ever seen the Habsburgs?
Yes. Yeah.
He looks.
Thin blood.
He has like weird. He has like a weird. Google Habsburgs.
Okay.
Yeah,
He looks
yeah.
like he was put together from parts.
Doesn't he have like a lumpy, asymmetrical face?
He's like a first generation Westworld.
Oh,
Just-
look at the Habsburgs. Oh,
Yeah,
that's precious.
yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah. And the Spanish, well, who's the Spanish family that's in all the Baroque paintings? Is that Prince Philip, I want to say? Philip?
Like Jen
Philip
says
of
about Donald
Spain.
Trump that he looks like he's completely made of ground beef all the way through.
Google King Philip Spain. He looks kind of like Fred Gwynn. We had a really nice Baroque museum right across the street from my college I used to go to all the time.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Good
King,
Baroques. We had
King
some
Philip
Rubens.
King Philip can get it.
Yeah.
Oh my!
He go down the Ho Chi Minh Trail.
King Philip's
Yes.
King Philip's a snack.
You're so I here for this.
Oh my goodness. His face is very angular.
He could really get in there, just wedge it in.
Yeah, that's the thing. You got to have the pointy chin. Look at that.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's an extreme restraints thing.
The problem is that big. What are the big puffy collars called? That would create some barrier issues.
Big puffy collars.
Oh, it's like if your cat has surgery and can't lick themselves.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's the collar
Is that what that's for?
Pussy.
It's called a ruff. A ruff is an item of clothing worn in Western Europe from the mid 16th century to the mid 17th century. That's all. That's all the ruff we got.
Oh, that seems wrong.
Oh, you should wear this, Alex. You look good in this.
I think so.
You can have a Dutch. You can have a. You know what you need? You need a Dutch ruff. Get a Dutch ruff.
Okay, look at that.
Look at that. Look at that Dutch ruff.
All right, we have to talk about the challenge. We can't keep Google. We can't keep Google image searching.
No, relax. We got a lot more to talk about. First, you have to tell me.
It's okay to objectify them if they're dead, right? Or if it's a painting. If it's a painting, then it's kind of like
Listen,
kind
we
of like
can't.
safe
This
porn.
podcast can't turn into us Google image searching things and then making fun of them.
No,
Can't?
I like the Dutch ruff.
I don't think we haven't had a meeting about it or anything.
Yeah.
Max, which mandolin should I get? And yes, I know to be careful with it. Isn't there like one baller brand you're supposed to get?
Well, so I don't have the. There's probably. I actually don't know a ton about this.
Is it the Benriner?
Yeah, the Benriner. And what you want to get is
It's an aqua one, huh?
Yeah, you get that little green. Yeah, it's the Benriner mandolin slicer. Here, I'm putting it on Amazon. It's $38.
And you don't really need to use the little guard, right?
Good Lord.
I mean, I'll tell you, I mangled my hand on it. We have one of our writers, Andy, just mangled his hand on it.
Max, I think you stipulated that anyone who has ever owned one has cut off part of their finger at least once.
What is happening?
Got some buzz. Somebody's got an XLR
There's
popped
like
out.
Buzz and feedback, yeah.
Bleep, bleep, me?
Oh,
I'm
there we
not
go.
hearing
Now-
anything.
now-
Oh, you know what's
But-
cool, Alex? I listened to your show with Brett Terpstra, and
Oh,
I
no.
bought a couple different new lights for my SAD. Listen to what happens when I turn on this one at work. You hearing that?
Oh, no.
That's
It's
terrible.
got a dimmer switch.
No.
All right, listen,
No.
if you get the mandolin,
Okay.
please get these chainmail gloves.
Okay. Chainmail gloves would be so baller.
They're
not.
Oh.
You have to use them. You have to use them because I swear to God, like even when I went to the ER when I mangled my hand with this thing, I mean I sliced the tip of my finger clean off into the potatoes, and when I went to the ER, the nurse that treated me was like, "Oh yeah, the mandolin. I hurt my hand on one of those." And then they got like a hand surgeon or a hand specialist to come and look at me, and that guy was like, "Oh yeah, the mandolin. I hurt myself on one of those too." Like everyone who came into the room had a story about hurting themselves on the mandolin. Like it's almost 100% guaranteed that if you don't use this chainmail glove, you will cut part of your hand off.
So they're
on
calling this
thing.
green one a vegetable slicer, but can I still cut meat on it if I want?
Oh, yeah, look at the Amazon, like, demo photos. What are those called? Yeah,
Photos.
there's...
All I want is an iPhone case that's different than all of the other ones. Not like people say.
Here's the thing with the cutting yourself on the mandolin too is that
Yes.
you'll take some countermeasures to protect yourself. Like you'll be like,
Yes.
okay, I will have my fingertips nowhere near the blade, and I'll use the
do it
little protector
slowly.
thing, and I'll go really slow. And here's the thing is that then what's going to happen is you're going to angle your hand weird, and a lot of people also cut the back of their palm on it or their wrist or something because they catch it because they're doing it at a weird angle to protect the rest of their hand. These things are a fucking death trap. I still use it, but use the glove and just be so
I'm getting the
careful.
gloves. I'm getting the gloves. I should probably get a medium. I bet I'm a medium. Yeah, the problem is like my pho technique. I want to be able to cut up my own very, very thin steak at home for my pho.
You know, Merlin, do you have you're in the San Francisco area. I don't want to compromise
am,
your
yeah.
OPSEC here. There must
fine.
be a Korean or like Chinese or Vietnamese grocery store that you can access.
Oh, there is. There's one up the street. It's like a zoo.
Okay,
unbelievable.
if you go there, they'll
It's
have
got animals I've never seen in it, and they're all sad. They're in tanks. There's
Yeah,
an
you can get, like,
abalone
the
that looks like a boner in a shell, and they sell Bush beer. It's the only place in town that sells Bush beer. It's really upsetting.
Okay, so in that store, they probably sell sliced meat for pho.
Yeah, I suppose. Okay, so I'm going to get the Ben Renner Mandolin Super Slicer with 4 Japanese stainless steel blades, BPA free, 14.5 by 5.25 inches, new model. Now I'm going to go check it on Review Meta and make sure it's good.
Review Meta.
Go to reviewmeta.com.
Review
You
Meta.
paste in a URL and it does science on the ratings. It's really good.
Reviewmeta.com.
Oh, like to see if the reviews on Amazon are bullshit or not.
Right. Like
I
the
see.
Pass.
fake-
Reviews
like-
reviews appear natural.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, the thing is, I thought Fake Spot was good, but Review Meta is like science. Review Meta is like, look, we're not here to tell you that this is fake. We're here to give science. We're going to put science on here. We're going to smear science on here.
There's certainly a lot of numbers.
But look, you go down. Look at.
Those sure are numbers.
Is that how you know that, Merlin? Is that how you know that the science is happening? Because there's
Well-
all the there's
Well,
percentage
as Socrates
signs.
would say, is it not true that without numbers there is no science? Consequently, by the rule of affirmation, doesn't the existence of more numbers suggest more science? So yeah, this is good all the way down. Phrase repetition, not too bad.
Reviewer ease. The ease score is the average rating for all reviews that a given reviewer submits. The average ease score for reviewers of this project is 4.2, while the average ease score for reviewers in this category is 4.3.
So they're just, but if they're FAQs, you should go read their FAQs. They're really good because they're like, look, there's no way to say, are these fake reviews? There's a way to put science on it so that you can say, if you go through, they're using APIs and stuff, and they're sweeping through all the shit all these people post.
You're saying
You
that it's
gotta
an
trust the
API and
API.
it's science.
Well, the science is there because you can tell from the numbers.
Yeah, the numbers, the APIs.
Did you not see the pie charts, Max? Pi.
Yep.
3.1. Okay, begin report refresh. Thank you very much. It is in my cart. It's a little more than I wanted to spend, but if you're going to lose a finger, you might as well invest.
Why don't you just go get the pre-sliced
Why don't you
pho?
stop bossing me? I want my own steak. Right now, I ordered 2 different fuzz to get what I want. It's becoming too costly.
But they
I got a ribeye in the sous vide right now.
They make the sliced. You're going to pre-cook it and then slice it?
I do it about to 120.
Merlin, let me ask you this.
I don't want it 100% raw. I'm doing it to 120.
I understand what you're saying. Why don't you... okay, why don't you just use a sharp knife? You can't slice it thin enough with a knife?
If you sous vide... Okay, let me ask you this. Is it not true that if one has sous vide if King Philip is to be given thinly sliced...
King Philip wants a thinly sliced steak.
Hang it upon my chin like an ornament of Christmas.
He can only fit 4 teeth in that chin.
My blood is very thin. Bring me the steak, but slice it thin. My teeth are like shoe peg corn.
Oh my God.
No es bueno. So you sous vide a steak, and in my case, because of circumstances today, because I have to do the award-winning hit podcast due by Friday, I threw it in at 120, so I'll get home. It will have been in there for 2 or 3 hours from frozen. So at that point, I'm going to be just sort of mealy, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
Try slicing that. Mm-hmm. See what I'm saying? I don't want to do totally raw. So what you do is you slice it real thin. All right, I'm going to order this.
Does your kid eat the raw stuff, or is that just...
No. Well, she eats sushi, but she likes the rice noodles. Yeah, she likes that. She does this thing where she cannibalizes my wife and my foods, and then like to make her own like kind of bespoke meal out of all the parts of our meal that we actually would have wanted. But she does that, so she'll take a little bit from everybody's plate and kind of like a smorgasbord.
Got it. Does she let the food touch?
I will have that rice of yours. Well, I wanted the rice. What are you, King Philip?
That's one of my worst. That sets me off worse than anything else. If someone takes
kid
something
eating
off
off your
my
plate?
plate, I fucking hate people taking
Oh,
off
do you
my
like it
plate.
when people go, "Can I have a taste?" and they just get their fingers right on there and grab it?
Oh, God. Who actually does that? Ugh.
We'd go to when I was in college and we'd go eat in the cafeteria and you'd get a whole little tray and you'd go through and you'd build a whole little special tray for yourself and you'd have just the things you want, and the cafeteria was fine, but you'd still have to do a lot of work to like curate the foods to make it into like a meal that you could
There's a
tolerate.
lot of decision making about pairings and how much you want and where it goes on the plate, and a lot of thought goes into that.
Well, it's like, am I going to get in line and wait 45 minutes for someone to make me like a grilled chicken breast, or am I going to do something that's pre-prepared? So anyway, then you get to the table and someone looks at your plate and they're like, wow, this guy did a great job. And they're just like, can I get some of that? And it's like,
Oh, no.
That's not how
no.
it
If
works.
you want it, go get it yourself. It's right there. It's fucking free. You already paid to come in.
Yes.
Oh, that drove me crazy. It's like, why do you think it's on my plate? Because I want to eat it. That's my treat. Challenge. Digga. Alex, challenge.
Dig Dug, it was my challenge this week, and it was very simple. It was to use Instagram. Merlin Mann, I've come to find out, doesn't have an Instagram account. Max and I both use Instagram, and I wanted Max to explore the story feature that all the youths are using. How did this go? I think I want to hear from Max first, because I don't know if you'll have much to say.
I don't
know.
have almost nothing to say. I made an
You guys didn't post a lot, especially Max. John Syracuse hardly posts anything at all.
Well, that's part of what's fun
that's
about
part of it.
Instagram is that you
Yeah.
don't have to post a lot. It's like a low bandwidth. It's like you just post and you have something to share.
Or every time you have a coffee.
So I have a private Instagram, and please, I had over 100 Due by Friday listeners request to follow my private Instagram. Please don't request to follow my private Instagram. I'm just going to delete your request. That'll be
effective.
It's my little space. Just let me have one. I give you people
Stop knocking
so
on the
much.
door. I'm in here.
I give you people so much.
Hey, buddy.
However, However, that's my one
you fall
little.
in?
That's my one little space.
Did you fall in?
Did you fall in?
Did you fall in? Hello, mother and father. How is the Salisbury steak? I love you.
Stop asking me where I want to go to
You need a little
dinner.
window.
Don't yell through the bathroom door.
Don't
about,
talk to the bathroom. If the bathroom door is closed, and you know what? Don't yell from another part of the house about a thing you need. I'm sitting down.
I'm doing
This is
something.
my room.
That's my thing.
doing
If someone
something.
tries to talk to me when I'm in a public bathroom stall, who does that? Like,
I'll tell
my-
you who does that. Ooh.
Oh no! Oh
It's
no.
a little intimate. It's a little intimate.
no,
What about
no.
sliding things under the door? You ever get that?
No.
Does Maddie
I
ever
could
just slide
never
you a note
spare
under the door?
Square. No squares. Nope. I would
You
pretend
ever
I was
you have an
deaf.
iPhone slid under the door so you can buy something on the App Store? You ever get that?
What? Oh, I see. No. Oh, man.
What is that? What is that? It looks like an iPhone coming under the door. And what's a password? Well, obviously, with no questions asked, no comments exchanged. Of course, anybody who slides me an iPhone under the bathroom door while I'm taking a shit, of course I'm going to enter in my password.
I mean, honestly, that would be my approach. Like, hey, Dad, can you just like here? And I think you'd get so panicked that you'd just be like, boop, 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 pencil
So
69.
listen, stop trying to follow Max. That's his special place.
Well, so I made a public Instagram for the Dubai Friday audience, and I posted some Instagram stories and some content to it, and I don't know, it was all right. It's not. Instagram stories are lame, and I don't want to use them. And after using them, I've decided that they're still lame, and I still don't want to use them.
I'm not being deliberately difficult. I saved. So basically, I did what I thought. I thought I was a good boy. I took some time. I took an hour this morning, and I did some stuff, and I had some stuff prepared. And I guess I still kind of. Let me ask you this, and Syracuse has already tried to explain this to me. So an Instagram story is a photo or video that you put up, you write on it or have stickers or whatever, and then it goes away after 24 hours. That's an Instagram story.
Yes.
And it's flow versus stock.
Yes.
But can you put up like multiple photos in a set, or is it you
Yes.
just put up a photo?
Oh, for stories, you can only put up one photo at a time. However,
Why do they call it a story? It's so stupid.
it's the story of your life.
I prepared
Merlin.
a wonderful thing to post, and now I don't know what I'm going to do. I wanted to wait and do it with you with my friends, my buddies from the podcast, but now, okay, I'll put up one photo for a story, I guess. Yeah, who described this? Actually, we talked about this on Back to Work, and Dan was saying he thinks stories are, I mean, this is Dan's opinion, not mine, but I think to paraphrase that it's kind of ruining Instagram, that people put all their stuff in there and then it goes away, and they're not taking the time to like put up good stuff.
I would not go so far as to say that it's ruining Instagram, because Instagram is still perfectly fine for me, but I just don't want to engage with the stories feature. I don't want to read them. I don't want to post them. It's just not, I'm just not into
Can I
it.
make a cynical note, and you can tell me if this is way off base?
Yeah.
Is it possible, and understand now I've used this for almost 6 days, is it possible that the reason people do Instagram stories is because it makes their icon go to the top of the app?
Huh. I don't think so.
Don't people hate the feed that is no longer chronological? Everything's all messed up. I follow somebody and I get 40 pictures from that person. I can't see anything else. Isn't it possible that it's a way to bubble up your stuff?
So I do have some friends who are like, it's like part of their career or their fame to like do things on Instagram, and those people post a ton of like hashtags on their posts. That's one telltale thing that they're like
Influencers.
that they're kind of like working it. And then the other and it is possible that for those folks that they actually are doing something to sort of game the algorithm by doing stories, because it gets their icon up there.
Oh, okay. Like especially like let's say like our pal from the coffee company. Like if you're doing a startup or something, you want to make sure you're bubbling up via hashtags.
If it's part of your like marketing or whatever, or if you're, or you know, I know a lot of professional photographers, right? And the way part of their deal is that they post on Instagram a lot. So that stuff is I understand that, but most of the time when I see Instagram stories, it's just people post things that are like too petty or flighty, or you know, like the joke everyone does about Instagram of like, oh, you're posting just what you're eating or your coffee or whatever. Like that's actually what people post on Instagram stories. It's like a thing that I might passingly share with you, but I don't need to sort of curate this as part of my permanent, you know, identity on here.
Okay, I'm going to post something as an Instagram story. So what I can I can write on it and stuff, right?
Yes.
It's like the Snapchat
What
clone.
happened? What was that?
Sorry. I was engaging with Instagram, and Simone Giertz is going into surgery, and I was watching that story, and it made me sad. I'm very sad today. Do you know Robot Lady has a brain tumor?
Oh,
Is
the
getting surgery.
shitty robots?
Yeah, I love Shitty Robot Lady.
Well, she's going into surgery? That sucks.
Yeah, she has a brain tumor. She'll probably be okay.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
Okay, is it okay if I don't use stickers?
Sometimes some people do, some people don't. I've become a fan of using a GIF as a sticker.
But like, do you write a description?
I do sometimes, just like I
for
will
a
sometimes.
story. For a story.
Well, the description is adding text to the photo or video or boomerang.
Yeah, story has no caption unless you like overlay the text on the photo.
All right.
Are you creating one right now?
Yes.
Alex, what about an Instagram Live? Have you ever played with that?
No, because Periscope is the place where I bother people to watch me do dumb things.
I get so many more views on Periscope than any other live thing that I do. What's up with that?
I wonder, you know what? I'm going to do a live Instagram right now, checking connection. I'm now live on Instagram.
Oh, there you are. I see your icon. Oh,
yeah,
God, there
look
you
at me.
are. Oh,
there
shit.
I am. I am in the studio. Nobody's
Oh, there
here.
you are. You're right on top.
Hi, I'm going to wave
Look
at
at
Do you
you.
want
that.
to mash on anything?
I am in the
You're waving
studio.
at me.
Oh, no. Oh,
Can I-
no.
Oh,
God, no.
I'm gonna wave at
This
you.
is crazy.
Hit it, fam.
This
Oh,
is a
fam.
disaster.
Oh no!
Oh, fam.
Oh God, no!
Oh, God.
Wow. Here comes all the people. Here comes all the
it's my-
people.
Look,
Ah.
there's my brother. There's Cancer Boy. Hi, Cancer Boy.
Hey, Cancer Boy.
Hi, Alex's
Tommy.
brother.
I'm not going to say hi, Cancer Boy, because that's a little familiar. Mom says hi.
Oh, God.
Mash on that heart, fam. Like that? You like hearts?
Thank you.
I'm King Philip of Spain, and I know Alex.
Tommy, tell Mom I'm very hard at work.
So, is this the show?
I guess so.
Stokely 706 joined. Hey, Stokely 706. What's up?
What up, fam?
Smash that
For
heart.
engaging with my content.
All right, we got 27 people, 31. Hi,
See why
Ian
you like
Star.
this.
Hi, Al. Oh, I just read. Can't Martha. There's Jeff.
This is probably the worst episode we've ever done of this
Yeah.
show.
No, it's really good.
Wait, I don't have any laundry at home. I'm 27 years old. Shut up, Tommy. Is this a show? Good Lord.
Laundry at home. I'm 27.
I'm done. You got to turn this off. Oh, God. This is terrible. So bad.
So we did it, you guys. Yay, after show.
Okay. Wait, no. Hold on.
No,
Hold up.
I'm going to
Hold
recuse
up.
I'm a Sessions out of this. I'm going to
Why?
recuse
No,
myself.
no.
Okay.
Tell us what you thought, Merlin.
No, because this is the pinnacle of you really don't want me to give my opinion about this.
Well,
Oh,
I
now my
do. I
mom's
want to
rage.
know what you think. Now you tried it.
No,
What do you
because it's
think?
going to be a rerun of the fucking after show last week where I'm going to say it's really not for me. You're going to go, yeah, but. And I'm going to say,
no.
those are all really good reasons for you to do it.
Now you tried it though, so I'm curious what your thoughts. What was different than what you expected?
I guess, I don't know. I thought it would be funnier. I like the babies and I like the dogs.
Not the cats. You didn't like the very, very cute cats.
Oh, yeah. Maddie had a
Okay.
cat. That was
Yep,
cute.
Yep, there's lots of cats.
No, I like it. And I like the little slice of life. I like Mrs. Soup and her post having her surrogate baby stuff. I think that's fun. What else did I like? Oh, there's Shane. Shane
Is
had
this?
a
Are you
cat.
gonna like delete this off your phone as soon as we're done?
Well, I wouldn't put it that strongly, but yeah, probably. And I'll clear all of my cookies all the way down. Because I don't need Facebook to know fuck all about my life, including whose pizza I'm looking at. No, you know what? Here's the thing, though. Yay! I see why people like this. I see why this is the good place for people, for sure. There's James T. Green eating some food. Yeah, no, I get why people like it. Oh, and congratulations on your public notice. That's good. There's Kevin. Lots of things John Roderick owns. I also just, you know what it is? We talked about this in the after show last week, but I'm just not comfortable putting up photos like I used to be. I mean, we can
What
make all the jokes
changed?
about it. What changed? It's like, it's always been kind of a funny thing to go, wow, you have weird books on your bookshelf. That's always been a thing. But no, I mean, like it is a Gary the Privacy Concern clown thing where it's become a sport to try to figure out everything you can figure out about someone's life. And I don't want to encourage people to do that. You know, there's a reason. I mean, like I used to put up pictures of my kid all the time, and it was really a nice experience, and people were cool about it. And now, like I'm hesitant to put up anything. Like you just saw what year my house was built, and that's probably somebody's gonna go probably be weird about that, and that just makes me sad. It used to be really fun. Flickr was a really fun thing, and having that added ability to say like this is for friends, this is for family, made it real easy and warm. And but it's fun. I get the appeal. I for sure get the appeal. Look at that kitty cat. Now who is that? So that's Bedtime Snuggles. That's Francis?
That is
Or Nez?
Francis. That's the bad
Okay.
cat.
Is that the idiot?
That's the dum-dum. I tried
But
very
I
hard.
get it. But I'm not being a sourpuss, and I'm
No.
not looking down my nose at anybody who does it.
Right.
I totally get the appeal.
Right. Something I tried to do. I kind of went overboard on the Instagram stories this week. It's really dumb. It's very silly. It's kind of a fun.
Now why
thing
do you say it's dumb and silly?
No. It's dumb and silly for me. Like I did, it's just like me going out to a restaurant or something stupid I saw, and it's I should say that like. There's nothing of substance for me there. Does that make sense? I guess. But it's kind of fun when you're out with people and it's like, let's make some little gifts and let's make some boomerangs. It's kind of fun, like how Vine used to be, actually.
Yeah. No, I don't think you need to apologize for that.
No,
What about you,
I'm
Max?
not apologize. I'm trying to think about why it's.
Well, I've made you sensitive or defensive about it.
No,
and
no,
I didn't
no.
mean to. What about you, Max?
What do I like about Instagram?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
We talked about this in the after show, but we didn't talk about it.
Yeah, it's hard for me to. So what's cool to me about Instagram personally is just that I have a very small little community of people who I follow and who I allow to follow my account, and it's my only place online where I have that, and I'm very thoughtful about who's allowed in and who's not, and so I don't really have to think as hard about just saying stuff or posting pictures of my house or my life or whatever, because I'm just not I'm not thinking about how it's going to be used against me or how I'm going to be judged for it or whatever. So,
Right.
It's hard for me to say like what are the merits of Instagram versus what are the merits of just having a private space with all to talk with all of your friends.
Yeah.
But it's pretty nice regardless. It's like my only. I generally find Instagram to be very positive. Like I think people aren't generally getting into fights or making stupid claims or whatever.
It's very and supportive.
Yeah, people are just generally pretty nice to each other.
There's Kara. Oh, there's Kara throwing a ball around.
Oh boy. Well, that's the thing. The actual like meat of Instagram, the permanent photos, that's kind of more for me. Like it is self-indulgent. It is very silly, but kind of like what Flickr used to be. Every once in a while, I'll go back and like look at some of the photos, and it's like, oh, I like when that cat did the cute thing. Oh, I really liked that show, or something like that.
That's a very important function of Instagram for me too, is like I don't keep a journal of any kind. I don't do any of that stuff. And so the only way, if I really wanted to like look back on my life over the last, whatever years, I mean, Instagram really is it. Like I post to it a couple times a week and I can go through and be like, oh man, like a few years ago I was, this is when I went to, visit Merlin in San Francisco, or this is, and we went to this convention or took this trip or whatever.
Right. Plus, I've been on Instagram since it started. Remember, it was like everybody was trying to get on the beta, and it was the cool thing. And now it's just part of, it's just pretty prevalent in all areas of pop culture. But it's still, I still kind of use it like I use original Twitter. It's just this nice thing. And I'm looking at like there's like. When I lived in Milwaukee, like I took pictures of bikes, and it's really silly, but I'm like, that's the person I was when I was 19 years old. I think it's what Flickr is for some
I like
people.
the ones that are thematic. I think that's fun.
Oh, Accidental Wes Anderson. That's a good one that I just discovered. Oh, yeah. I also, there's a lot of slime videos and a lot of cutting sand videos.
Oh, of course.
Oh, yeah. I finally got the like ASMR tingle from sand cutting a while ago, and it's very pleasant.
Nice.
My main curiosity with this was going to be like, why is this different from Flickr, other than the fact that Flickr was a permanent place,
or Twitter, because I think you can distinguish between both, and I've been thinking about it. I've really been thinking about it. Well, Flickr was from a different time, where I was definitely like less self-conscious about what kind of stuff I would put up. Twitter, I feel really off the leash with Twitter for whatever reason. I feel pretty comfortable saying whatever as long as I mostly spell stuff right. And I don't overthink that. I'm hesitant to say this. I'll just say this for myself. One reason I'm very self-conscious about this, having a site that is mainly about photos of something that recently happened, for a moment, setting aside all of the parts that can be very creepy about that, is that I'm not saying anybody should ask themselves this, but the question I ask myself is, every gesture that you make has an implicit request or an implicit like a persuasive case about something that you're making. Like sometimes you're just looking for like somebody to like laugh along with you at how dumb the president is or whatever it is. Like I don't have a unified field theory for why I do Twitter and I wouldn't do this, but like I'm unclear about what it is that I'm asking people to think about me. Like, because I feel like almost every image on Instagram has an implicit, like, here's a thing you need to know about me. And it's kind of related to brand. It's kind of related to lifestyle. It's related to the decisions that you've made in life. A lot of times it really is conspicuous consumption of one kind or another, or status. It's a way of showing status. And when I'm thinking about what to put up there, setting aside all those other things, I'm like, I'm not really sure what it is I want people to think about me differently because I posted a given image. And that makes me very self-conscious about posting anything. Whereas I'm not like that on Twitter, and I didn't used to be like that on Flickr. Or if I was like that on Flickr, I knew that it was an on-brand thing. Like I have a whole album of just me with dumb hair on Flickr. That's like a fun thing. But like now today, I feel self-conscious about that.
What do you think changed?
What do I think changed? I mean, I do feel like Flickr just feels like it was from a simpler time. It was such a fun site. It was so easy to use. It was one of the first, I feel like for me, up there with stuff like what was the bookmarking app before Pinboard that everybody used? Delicious? Sort of like Delicious, like definitely Flickr, a little later on Vimeo. These sites that YouTube used to be very ugly to use, and it was very techy. And it worked. It was good for what it did, but you know, YouTube wasn't always YouTube. It used to be real ugly and mainly just attract a lot of dinglings. And I wouldn't put like personal stuff on YouTube because that wasn't. Whereas with Vimeo, they were very much about, like, to a fault, in my opinion, they were about storytelling. Like one time I put up a video of something that was like vaguely instructional, and I kind of got a little bit of a nastygram from Dallas that was like, well, that's kind of not what this is for. Like it got too close to their idea of, like, I guess commercial, or like this is really a storytelling site. And I was like, oh, really? I thought I could just put up whatever I wanted. But Vimeo and Flickr in particular were, I mean, honestly, just so fun to use, fun to interact with. Uploading a video to Vimeo was a fun experience. And the community was really good. Like the people that you allowed into that world, it felt pretty wholesome. And very much the way I think, similar to the way you guys feel with Instagram. How is it different? The internet has changed. Not the internet has changed. The the way people behave and the filters that people have when they are consuming and interacting with stuff on the internet has really changed. I think that's difficult to dispute. There's always been dark corners of the internet, but now it's so easy to rocket into any area of somebody's digital life and wreak havoc. And it makes me feel vulnerable.
I definitely see what you're saying, especially with, like, I know that when I post a picture of Diet Coke that I'm just being like, haha, look at me, I like Diet Coke.
Lol.
Lol. But at the same time, and also with the travel thing, fortunately or unfortunately, like, it's just part of my job that people will know where I am and like when I'm out of town, and I'm lucky enough that nothing bad has happened in those circumstances. But I don't know. I read this article that I'm trying to find. I think it was on the Outline about how the kids these days are using Instagram, and it did make me genuinely sad. Like, they do the flow thing of constantly making stories, and if you
the thing about the high price of becoming an influencer.
No,
that the
not
one?
that one. This is
That one was
like
good.
the normies. That was also good. But like people, they will post a picture on Instagram, and if it doesn't get likes, they immediately delete it. And it
Is
just
that a
made me-
thing? I've heard people say that.
Yes.
Is that really a thing?
It's not for like my community of friends, but that's it. Like I can see how it can be really damaging to kids with the whole FOMO thing. And you go like if you're following the like influencers and you're on a helicopter or a yacht or whatever, I don't know. I get what you mean. You've been talking about wholesomeness, I think, on a lot of your shows, and it is an interesting thing to ponder, which is not something.
I'm glad you brought that up. It's not in some ways it's not so far off. Just some tenets of Buddhism, like the right thinking, the right intent. Like where am I going with this? What am I looking at here? As Max likes to say. Yeah, I'm glad you got onto that. That's good. But like, look at that lady.
Wait a minute. What am I looking at here? Yeah. What are you talking about? I haven't heard these episodes yet.
The woman in that article, I made a crack about how she was kind of putting all of the stuff that was happening onto Instagram. And the thing is, like, would that enterprise that she undertook be as enticing? Would she have kept with it as long if there weren't that? She was kind of feeding the monster in some ways. Maybe that's her own ego. It's her own aspirations. We all have things that we wish we had that we didn't. And that's just how life is. But that, she was also, I wonder how many times after spending a large amount of money on something that could be photographed, she decided that's probably not something I should put up. Because I'll bet that in some ways, having that photograph of that bag from that store is what kept her doing that for as long as she did it. I'm just going to speculate. I'm not trying to cast this too wide. I'm just saying, like, there is a lot of pressure to look happy, successful, healthy, and well in public. There's a lot of pressure on people to do that. And, for years we've known about the fact, like, hey, if you see somebody with a picture and it's just their open eye, they're probably not a skinny person, right? We've known stuff like that, right? But you also want to, like, get shot from just this one certain angle and just this certain side. And that ability to show that, like, today I'm maybe even a little bit better off than I was yesterday. That is a lot of pressure to put on people. And it squicks me a little bit.
There's another side of that too, though, where I know selfies are looked down upon by a lot of people, but the ability
not as much as it used to.
No, exactly, because the ability for especially women to take a picture of themselves and not hate what they see is a very big deal, and that is something I never thought I would be able to do. Because I'm not a happy person, and luckily I don't feel like I have to pretend to be happy in public most of the time, at least in my basic ass everyday life. And maybe that is just because of some sort of semblance of maturity that I've scrambled together somehow, but
right.
I don't know. I'm looking back at my super old pictures, and
who is that sweet doggy?
That's Murphy, who is still alive.
Murphy is a precious angel.
I love Murphy. She's the first pet that I ever had, and I'm looking back at my very first photos, and there are like friends who have passed away or pets that have passed away, and I don't know. I really, and like the terrible the filters that were even worse, and you used to have a little border around.
Oh
them.
Yeah, the little border days.
Wow.
Yeah,
it's so bad, and like I don't know.
Merlin, here's all I would say about you. I don't think your critique is like wrong of Instagram, but I would just say, like, nearly everybody is on Instagram, especially like in the younger you get, right? You just have an Instagram. It's just part of your using the internet, and it's like one of the pillars of your like internet use. And I would say, just like everybody has a phone, and there's a lot of ways to use a phone, and there's some people who have a healthy relationship with their phone and some people who have an unhealthy relationship. Like, you can draw like a broad critique of society and the role that cell phones play in society, and it doesn't apply to lots of people. And I think the same thing is true of Instagram. Like, I don't think I have an unhealthy relationship with Instagram. I think I use it in a good way.
That's why I tried to present. But like, you just sent along the lady from that article's Instagram.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. She's
pretty
right in the
upsetting.
wheelhouse of what you're describing.
Yeah,
She is, but also, just to make the 51-year-old man point, she looks profoundly unhappy in almost all of these photos, which I think is part of her aesthetic. But this is kind of like the human version of a minimalist desk.
Oh, that's so
Where,
true. Holy shit.
There's There's so little room for joy in the world that she's photographing.
Oh my God. Oof. Oof.
I mean, it's like living in a, I don't know. Everything is very stark, and it's either an angled thing or a centered thing, or it's a little bit wackadoo, and it's got a little bit of splash of color. But it's like she's in a world that exists to be photographed and put on Instagram. Mm-hmm. It looks like. I mean, what do her rejects look like?
Yeah,
I'd love to know what her rejects look like.
That's
she likes
very
pictures.
interesting. Yeah.
Like this wasn't, But your point about the deleting of something once it's up, oh my God, that's such an interesting idea. There's the saline glasses. There's her saline glasses we heard about.
Yeah. I think Max is right. It's just a spectrum. I'm glad. Thank you for actually engaging in this challenge. You were good at Instagram. Your Instagram's already way better than like 90%.
I have 4 photos. My daughter was very picky about what she would allow me to. It's not that she didn't want a photo. She would not let me put up the Tesla picture, and I was really bummed.
She
I was
wanted
like,
it
do you
to be
understand
wholesome.
how perfect the Tesla photo would be for Instagram?
Well, she didn't want. She was like, no, this isn't wholesome, and I'm not even like joking. Like, no, you're just engaging in the brand. Like, I bet part of that. Well,
I tried to explain to her how it would be kind of the ultimate in joke. So what I sent Max and Alex was a photograph of my daughter making finger guns at the logo of a literally white Tesla.
Mm-hmm. And it's the kind I want, a Tesla X. Sorry, go on.
But yeah, and she's like, no, you can put up other ones, but don't put up that one. I don't like that one.
The thing about the Tesla, Merlin, is that she's not proud of the Tesla that she got. She's proud of the 47 new bookcases she had to get to hold all of her books.
Knowledge.
Because this billionaire investor, Warren Buffett, that I quoted in my TED Talk, says, knowledge is power.
He only had 47 Lamborghinis in his Lamborghini account.
Oh, man.
Do you want to see it? Can I show you an amazing a really interesting Instagram account that you might be into?
100%.
Do you know about does anyone know about Lil Michaela?
No.
So check this out. So Lil Michaela is a very interesting Instagram account.
Oh, I read about this.
So she is a CGI model, although at times almost upsettingly lifelike, and I think it might be a blend of photography and CGI.
Oh, yes.
And what's interesting is that she also, I think a lot of her followers just follow her because of like lifestyle stuff, and it's not clear even if they know that she's CGI. But what's cool is that even though she's a CGI model and she's been created by like a marketing company, brands pay her. She has a career just like an Instagram influencer, and she gets paid to wear these brands and take pictures of them.
She being a CGI model someone has made.
Correct.
When we say she's getting paid, the people who...
Some advertising agency, I think.
That's so interesting. Alex, this seems like it's right in your wheelhouse.
This is so in my wheelhouse. I think there's a few people like this, but I think there's a number of things that are interesting about this that we can't. Hey, listen to Roboism, roboism.fm, that it's a woman of color that, and there seems to be like she has CGI friends. Like you're right there, and she's posing with real people at different times. I don't know. This is a very interesting advertising model. Oh, this is weird and cool. I don't know if I should be grossed out or fascinated.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's one of those things where like it might as well come along. We probably need to have the conversation about stuff like this, regardless of however we decide it's a good idea or not. How do you feel about Pete Souza? Is he too clever by a half?
I like Pete Souza.
Yeah, I mean, I've enjoyed his little bits of snark when I encounter it. It's a lot when you get it a lot. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's less clever and arch when it's like everything he posts, but his photos are beautiful.
I think it's something where he started getting a lot of attention for it, and it's like it's a bit of a gimmick. And he has a new book out too called like Shade by Pete Souza.
Here's I want to give my now to be positive. I'd like to give my awards for the people who I like, people who I think are doing this well and in a way that pleases me. I think Jen does a good job. I like Jen Baines. And this does not mean I dislike other people's, so please don't do that. I like Dean Clean from the Dead Milkmen. I think he does a nice job of combining like, here's the thing that I'm working on right now with here's a photo of me with here's an old thing. Like, oh, here's a cute little Dead Milkman photo from 1992. I think he does a good job. I like Kathy Campbell. I like Mrs. Soup. I think she does a good job. Did you see that sweet baby?
Oh, yes. Adorable.
Oh, it's a very sweet baby. I think they do a good job. And Pete Souza's are fun just because he is an awfully good photographer, and it is kind of funny, the shade that he throws, even though it's painful a little bit.
I like Santageous. It's insta-follow, as they say.
Santageous. Oh no, is it going to be about cutting sand?
Yeah, it's just
Okay. All right, never mind. All right. Santageous insta follow. Okay. You think I should keep doing it and give it a try longer? I probably should.
I feel like you would enjoy just looking at other people's.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna stick with it a little longer.
It's a pretty positive, great way to just like follow up on your friends and see their baby pictures and their dog pictures and stuff.
Oh, Tanner's baby. Oh my God.
Very cute, perfectly spherical head, like a little,
Right?
like
It's a little suspicious.
like a little grapefruit. Well, Tanner has a very spherical head.
Let's see here. I'm looking up the Habsburgs. Let's find some really seriously fuckable Habsburgs.
Oh no.
They have really prominent chins. It's like it's shaped almost like a banana.
I mean, you can't say anything bad about a pointy chin, really.
No.
Look at
that guy. Who is this? Oh man.
Did you see what our Stevens posted? I just put it in
What's
the
that?
chat.
Star Spangled Ding Dongs?
Hostess brand Star Spangled Ding Dongs.
Limited edition. White fudge covered golden cake with creamy filling.
Oh God.
Google young Star Spangled Ding Dong.
Young Ding Dong. Young. Every time there's a guy with tattoos on his face, like when we're watching the Warriors, I say, "Is that Lil Wayne?" And then everybody just looks at me. So he's different from Lil Yachty, right?
Yes.
I believe so. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But it seems like people used to want to be big, and now people like to be young and lil. Am I wrong?
No, I don't think
Didn't
so.
you used to have you had a big pun? You had a big pop up.
Back in the day, everyone wanted to be Biggie Smalls, but now they want to be Little Wayne.
Smalley Biggs. Yeah.
Smalley Pigs.
That's a very funny joke, Dad. What is that one? Is that one Smalley Pigs? Yeah, 2-pack, 2 Furious.